Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram or YouTube itself. What up, world? So, it is June. It is the end of June. That's when I usually be doing my movie talk videos. And this month, like, really wasn't that much to choose from. Honestly, I want to do a Sandra Bullock video, but I've seen like 10 of her movies, and I don't want to do no video where I'm talking about Speed 2. And then I've done Pixar. So if I redo Pixar, it'll be like after Toy Story 4 or after their first movie after Toy Story 4. And then Uncle Drew, Sicario, didn't want to do anything related to them. I think Chris Pratt needs a little more variety. I don't want to do a video that's all Marvel, all Jurassic World. Eventually I'll do a Chris Pratt video. So I was like, who's the next best actor? Who's my next favorite actor that did anything this month? And even though it was a minor role, man, Samuel L. Jackson was in Incredibles 2. So instead of my top 10 overall Samuel L. Jackson movies, because it'd be 5 Marvel and 5 Quentin Tarantino, I'm gonna do my 10 favorite Samuel L. Jackson movies, but one per franchise. And yes, I'm gonna count Quentin Tarantino as a franchise. And before we jump in, like I need to shout a couple of his underrated movies, a couple of his movies that I think are slept on, like Deep Blue Sea, like Shaft and The Spirit. I think those are all really underrated. And then like Coming to America, Goodfellas, Juice, Menace to Society, movies that he's in, but he's only in for a real small amount of time. I'm not gonna count those either. So at number 10, I have Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And Samuel L. Jackson is Mace Windu, purple lightsaber, old Jedi master. He's been skeptical about Anakin Skywalker the entire prequel trilogy, and his worst fears are realized when he sees um when he sees Anakin go bad. Count Dooku is in the room, the lightning and everything that really turned him into Darth Sidious, I think is his character. I'm drawing blanks. Camera turns on and I draw blanks, man. But just among friends, I could talk about this for days. It's my favorite, and I think most people's favorite Star Wars prequel. And Samuel L. Jackson, his part was originally written for Tupac, but his character is a real dope character in the prequel trilogy. At number 9, I got Kong Skull Island that come out just last year, and there's like the team of mercenaries, and I haven't watched it since the theater, but if I'm not mistaken, like the whole team went to investigate, and they like stumbled upon Kong. Like they got reports of something that happened on Skull Island, and John C. Riley is the OG that's been stranded there for years and years, and Samuel L. Jackson is the guy who needs to kill Kong. I mean, Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, John Goodman, Corey Hawkins from Straight Outta Compton. This movie has a real dope cast, and I think it laid a lot of dope groundwork for a monster verse that I know Warner Brothers wants to do, and they're gonna keep pushing that forward with the Godzilla sequel next year, and then Godzilla versus Kong in 2 years. Samuel L. Jackson kind of being the antagonist of Kong is what made his character dope in this movie. At number 8, I got The Negotiator, and I saw The Negotiator for the first time like a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago. Directed by F. Gary Gray, the director of Friday, the director of Set It Off. Negotiator was his third movie. I think it takes place in L.A., maybe Chicago, but I think it's in L.A. And Samuel L. Jackson is this hostage negotiator when the cops have a situation and they need to talk down a perpetrator. They call Samuel L. Jackson. The tables get turned. Samuel L. Jackson feels like he's being done wrong because he is, and he's the one that takes the hostages. And I don't want to offend anybody by saying a name, but it was the 90s. No allegations to come out yet. They called Kevin Spacey, and Kevin Spacey was like his equal, and he was the protagonist that was trying to talk down Samuel L. Jackson. And man, that movie was real dope, man. One of Gary Gray's best, in my opinion. Just real tense, man. Just real character driven, rich, great performances, and just real tense. At number 7, I got Die Hard with a Vengeance, and it's a 23-year-old movie, so I don't know how much is really spoilers, man. But the villain in Die Hard with a Vengeance is related to the villain in Die Hard, and he wants his revenge on John McClane. And John McClane is forced to wear a real fucked up, like, billboard poster board thing, you know what I mean, across his body, and is in the middle of Harlem. Stupid dangerous for what he was wearing and the population. It was going to get him killed. And Samuel L. Jackson stepped in, Zeus stepped in, protecting him, and got brought into the mix. So it's like a buddy cop movie. Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis are just going around New York trying to like solve these riddles and catch this bad guy. And still to this day, it's my second favorite Die Hard movie. At number 6 is another Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis movie, and it's M. Night Shyamalan's most underrated movie of his entire filmography, and that's Unbreakable. Unbreakable is arguably a masterpiece. Like, a lot of people wouldn't argue it, but there are some people that would. And it's Bruce Willis. He's David Dunn, never been hurt, never been scratched, never broken a bone, survives a impossible train wreck, and this catches the eye of Elijah Price, played by Samuel L. Jackson, who literally was injured upon birth. Coming out of his mother's womb, he was hurt. He's always in a wheelchair, always in a cane. He's always hurt. Kanye said, "Unbreakable, what you thought they called me, Mr. Glass? Toys R Us, where I used to spend that Christmas cash." Um, but it's the origin story of a hero. It's the best unofficial comic book movie I think that's ever been made. With once again, could be argued. Um, but like I said, it's M. Night's most underrated movie. It's one of Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis's most underrated movies, and just their relationship is so crazy. And after Split come out, I cannot wait until January to see what happens in Glass. Like, the name of the third movie is called Glass. So Samuel L. Jackson is definitely going to play a big part in this movie. At number 5, I got another hardcore nerd movie, man, and that's Kingsman: The Secret Service. Another movie where Samuel L. Jackson plays the antagonist, not necessarily villain, but he plays the antagonist, man. And it's Matthew Vaughn. If you've seen Kick-Ass, you know what you're getting into. Like, Matthew Vaughn holds nothing back, man. There are severed limbs, there's blood, there's language, stupid violent, but balls to the wall entertaining. Um, and Samuel L. Jackson plays this like media mogul, like he's like world famous, but he's doing ill things on the side. And Sophia Boutella plays like his right hand assistant chick, and she got like not swords, but her legs are amputated, so she has like these weapons attached to her legs, and she's a beast. And Samuel L. Jackson is like trying to like take over the world and hypnotize like all these financial people that pay for this app or whatever through like some like injection or something, like some implant. And it's up to Taron Egerton and Colin Firth as these spies to stop him. And man, it's like that's a movie that just never gets old. Like, it's forever entertaining. And Samuel L. Jackson, like he wears the fitted hat, his glasses, his hats like match his clothes, and he talks with his lisp, and it's like something you never heard from Samuel L. Jackson before. So I just think it's like it's a character trait that he used that was real dope. At number 4, I got Incredibles 2, literally just come out. I'm not gonna say too much. My review is on my YouTube channel as well as my letterbox, depending on how you get into this video. Uh, and it's literally right after the first movie. These rich people are recruiting Frozone, Samuel L. Jackson, Mr. Incredible, and Elastigirl to help make superheroes popular again. And Of course, it more focuses on the Incredibles, and Frozone gets shine in the third act, and a little bit in the first and second, but more definitely in the third. And like Samuel L. Jackson, like Brad Bird wanted Frozone to be voiced by somebody with a cool voice in the first movie, and I mean you can't go wrong. Like your options was Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman, um, like uh, like Reggie Cathy, and what was it, like Clifton Powell, Ving Rhames. Like Samuel L. Jackson nails this, man. Knocks this character out of the park. If Pixar ever wanted to do a Frozone spinoff, I would be one of the first in line to go see that. At number 3, I got Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It's my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie that Samuel L. Jackson is in. I could have went with the Avengers. I could have went with Iron Man 2. I could have maybe Captain Marvel will bump the Winter Soldier, but this movie, man, this is a spy thriller. You know what I'm saying? It's like Shield has been infiltrated. Shield is not safe. You don't even know if Cap doesn't even know if he can trust Nick Fury, and then come to find out who the Winter Soldier really is. Like it's all tense, man. It's all entertaining. It all pushes Cap's arc forward, as you know the red, white, and blue might not be as honest as he was made to believe it was back when he was dying to join the military. That first Winter Soldier attack, man, Samuel L. Jackson definitely had some memorable moments. Just when he's talking to the SUV, and when everybody thinks what happened to him, a reveal later on, and he becomes important to stopping the real villain, like the mastermind behind everything that's going on too. I've actually missed Nick Fury, like the more recent Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, all the way back to I would say Winter Soldier, because I mean like work with me right quick. Guardians, Ultron. He was in Ultron, but like 2 scenes, right? Ant-Man, um, Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians 2, Spider-Man, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, and Infinity War. Samuel L. Jackson isn't heavily involved in any of those movies. So like we're going, once Captain Marvel comes out, it'll be like really 5 years since Nick Fury has been heavily involved in the story of an MCU movie. And even with that, Captain Marvel takes place in the 90s. So who knows how much more Samuel L. Jackson we're really going to get in the MCU. I'm sitting here geeking out. Of course, a Marvel movie would be the one I talk about the longest. At number 2, I got Jurassic Park. Is very early in his career, but I count this as Samuel L. Jackson being heavily involved because Richard Attenborough, John Hammond, the creator of Jurassic Park, him and Samuel L. Jackson are right next to each other practically every scene that Samuel L. Jackson's in. And you know he's a tech guy. He's on the computer, working on the security, working on the upkeep of the facility. So he's not involved in any major action. It's obviously alluded to because once Ellie Sadler like flips the switch to the power or whatever to the electric gates to the fences, obviously that severed limb that comes down on her, that's Samuel L. Jackson. And man, this movie is an all-time classic. This is the first classic. Of course, he was in Goodfellas, but he was in one scene in Goodfellas, and he didn't even have a line. "Hold on to your butts" is one of the most memorable lines in Jurassic Park, delivered by Samuel L. Jackson. And he says it twice. My number one, man, my favorite, all-time favorite Samuel L. Jackson movie is Pulp Fiction. Like I said one Tarantino movie at the beginning of the video, and of course, I hadn't mentioned one yet, so here we go. He's been in Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown. I don't count him in as Kill Bill 2. He's in one scene, and it's a flashback scene. And then he's in Django Unchained and The Hateful Eight. I think he does like a little uncredited voiceover in Inglourious Basterds, but again, that wouldn't have counted anyway. Like he's the epitome of cool in Pulp Fiction, man. Like I can't even pull my shirt all the way up. Jules Winfield, man. Him and John Travolta are these hitmen that work for Marcellus Wallace. What does Marcellus Wallace look like? What? Does he look like a bitch? What? Is what he say? What ain't no country I'm butchering the whole scene, man. What ain't no country I ever heard of? Do they speak American in what? Say what again? Say what one more time? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. The Royale with cheese, man. Samuel L. Jackson is the coolest dude in the whole movie, man. He oozes smooth, man. And they shoot the dude. They got to clean out the car because John Travolta shot him in the head. And he got brain entrails, blood splattered all over the car, and they got the briefcase. And he's talking down um oh man, what is it, Ringo? Does he call Tim Roth Ringo? You reach in that bag and hand me that wallet. Which one is it? The one that say bad motherfucker on it. Cool down, honey bunny. You tell that bitch to be cool. Be cool. Say be cool, bitch. I love, man. Pulp Fiction is one of the all-time greats, man. Just Samuel L. Jackson himself has so many memorable scenes, and you could talk about John Travolta, Uma Thurman, again Bruce Willis, Ving Rhames. Like the cast is endless. The cast is cool as shit. The dance with Uma Thurman and John Travolta is iconic. You could talk about Pulp Fiction for hours, days on end. Like it's like I said, it's one of the all time greats, man. So, no particular restrictions, man. Just drop a comment, talk about some of your favorite Samuel L. Jackson movies. It could be an entire series, the Star Wars prequels, if you wish, Negotiator, the Triple X movies. He's in those. Like I said, Deep Blue Sea, I mentioned earlier on. His animated stuff, like The Incredibles, like Turbo. His other Tarantino movies. Samuel L. Jackson is in his body of work is endless, and I hope he doesn't slow down, man. Like I don't want to like make no insinuations he getting up there in age or anything, but I mean everybody's time comes when they got to think about hanging it up. But like Samuel L. Jackson, man, he's one of the goats. Like my wife is not a fan. Every time he's on screen, my wife cringes, but it is what it is, man. Like you can't please everybody. Check out some of my recent movie reviews, man. At the time of recording, I don't know if my theater will get Uncle Drew, so I might have posted an Uncle Drew review. Sicario, Day of the Soldado, um, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, brain farted for a minute, man. Incredibles 2, Tag, Ocean's 8, all those are up. Check out my three favorite movies of the second quarter of the year. My Blu-ray collection update on the way. Ant-Man review, Purge review, Skyscraper review, Hotel Transylvania 3 review. Man, it's all on the way. Be on the lookout for a July movie talk. I don't know what I'm gonna do for July. I might have an idea, but it depends. Well, we'll see. Like we'll see. Like I'll do a July video, of course, but I'm not committing to an idea just yet. Like, subscribe, comments. Find me where you find me, man. Don't know where to find me. Watch these credits. Peace.